Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look at Origin Protocol and just quickly identify where it could go next and effectively what the big picture might look like. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, right? I just love teaching people how to trade. Hope you can learn something here today if you want to become a better trader. CryptoCache.tech, I have an academy, send out signals for every trade that I take, and of course, provide you with an amazing community concept there where we all learn and grow together. We have weekly roundtable discussions, super cool experience. So taking a look here at Origin, something to note, of course, we are working pretty well within the Fibonacci retracement lines. So if you can see this, you can see the price is just kind of coming up to the next major key level fib, coming back down, up, back down. It's a perfect pattern. It's exactly what you want to see in a continuation. So Origin is exuding a lot of good qualities here in that sense so far. I don't think it's overextended yet, but 3 days of bullish momentum could lead to a fourth red day. Okay, so just note that's potential, but we'll go ahead and take a look at some other stuff here. One thing to note, we are up over 70 on the RSI. It would be standard for the price to kind of go sideways for a little bit before it continues to increase. Or the inverse could also apply. Instead of the price coming back down underneath 70, you could see 70 work as a support level on the RSI. That happens quite a lot in cryptocurrency. We'll keep an eye on that and see if that works out. But a lot of times when the price breaks above 70 on the 1 day, it could effectively work as a support level. All right, so that could kind of basically be synonymous here with price action on the Fibonacci retracement level, about 41 and a half cents. So looking good there in that sense, right? Obviously, we got a MACD convergence. Bottom line, though, it is a bit on the overextended side, so a pullback would be ideal. We could actually see the pullback happening right now, but we'll identify that here soon. But as we can see, the most highest point that it hit was roughly 52.6 cents, which is another key level resistance for Fibonacci. So all good stuff there. It's working right within the lines, and that's exactly how it's supposed to happen. Just basically implies that we do have a lot of bots trading this coin as well, right? All right, so take a look at the 4 hour. We can see we've got a golden cross forming. I don't think that's super important. It's more important or impactful on the 1 day chart, but 4 hour will take it. That's all good. But at this point, I wouldn't worry too much about that 7 moving average. Key is we're above both moving averages, and that's going to work as a support level eventually if the price were to come back down. Looking at the RSI though, this is nice. I like to see this. RSI up over 70 on the 4 hour chart is typically too much. It can only sustain for so long because again, it's a faster time frame, and ultimately it's not like the 70 on the RSI on the 1 day where you can kind of work it as a support level. It's essentially one of those things where it has to come down eventually. And we can kind of see this here too. If we look at TD sequential, we've been in overtime for about 24 hours. This is not great in the grand scheme of helping the price action continue to progress higher. Albeit, yes, this is a nice, somewhat healthy staircase pattern, right? You can see it kind of coming up and over, but it didn't go over here, right? It just continued to go up. So the reason why it's coming back down is because it came up too far and it essentially got outside of those standard deviation lines. So if you look at here on the volume weighted average price, you can see it got way too overextended, and outside that deviation coming back down to potentially bounce out the lower one here as well. So 44 cents could and should be the lowest point. All right, so again, just something to note there on that sense. Take a look at the 1 hour while we're here, of course. TD sequential does imply that we're at a 5 right now. We hit a 6 previously, and then a 9 prior to that. So this is nice and healthy in the sense that it came up to a 9, consolidated just enough to come up and leg up again. Those, once again, outside that standard deviation, caused the price to come back down. So, we should expect a bounce somewhere in the range of 42 to 44 cents. I don't think it should come much lower here. Generally speaking, based on the continuation here, we could see 4 more hours of continuation of downside. The likelihood of it bouncing right here at the previous high, or the previous 9, of course, as well as potentially down to 42 is equally as likely. So I think 42 to 44 would be a pretty decent area of consolidation, which we could expect a nice little support channel. All right. So looking good there in that sense. Ichimoku Cloud is probably telling us we want to consider closing our position soon. So if you're in the profit, effectively, the cloud saying, hey, lagging span's almost intersecting with the price action. It's a great chance the price will effectively continue to go lower. You might want to consider taking your profits, right? But again, bottom line is we're above the cloud, but pretty much above the entire time. Lagging span still free and clear. Conversion lines above the baseline. Those are 3 check marks across the board, letting you know that if you have a position open, you want to keep it open until it decides it wants to continue lower. Again, conservative indicator, do what you will here. Generally speaking, I would expect the cloud to essentially come to an end here soon. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some support here between 42 and 44, and the price kind of consolidate there. And if so, we'll kind of travel into the cloud, and at that point, we might want to consider hanging back and waiting for the price to kind of, calmed down, I guess you could say. But bottom line is it's absolutely on the overextended side, and it's coming back down now naturally. This is a natural decrease in price. There's nothing wrong with it. We actually need to see this in order for it to have another leg up again, or potential for that. Take a look at the big picture though. Something to note, OGN has tremendous potential, so I think it's just getting started, especially with, there's a lot of news on OGN right now. Of course, do your own research, and just know that the likelihood of it getting back to where it was at before, I think upwards of about $3, is unlikely at this point. But it doesn't mean that it couldn't still get to somewhere in the range, because its average true range is somewhere in the range of about $60 to $1.40. So you could have potentially invest right now and sell somewhere around $1 or $2, or sorry, $1 to $1.50, and still make a decent profit. I think the likelihood of this continuing higher is still there. It's just a matter of how the next 24 hours it behaves, right? If it tries to push up much higher today, it's going to get rejected out, because it's still overextended, even on the RSI on the 4-hour. But if we can kind of calm down and consolidate between 42 and just say 44 cents, then we'll be in really good shape to be able to see this continue to take off. So I hope that we see some good stuff here, but again, consolidation right now is necessary. We need at least 12 to 24 hours consolidation. If we can print a red day tomorrow, that'd actually be helpful, so we can have another leg up again the day after. All right. Those are things I like to look for in continuation patterns like this, but this is a very good push. Just recommend maybe taking a little bit of profit if you haven't already, because you're probably up about 70-80% if you got in around 25. So just something to think about. Again, don't close your entire position. Never close your entire position in most cases, right? Oftentimes you want to kind of let a little bit ride. So sometimes, taking 50, 60, 70% profit and letting the rest kind of hang out there is perfectly fine, because say we get a pullback, you can add to your position again if you want to take it to the upside. All right, little things to think about. I hope you found benefit here, of course. Thanks again for joining me. If you're not currently a community member, CryptoCache.tech is the site. I look forward to getting to know you better. Have yourself a great rest of your day.